What's up, guys? This is Joe with Schematic Solutions, and today we're talking about why would you want to risk only 0.25% of your account on every single trade you take. Now, we probably shouldn't have to get into the consistency of you taking that order, or like meaning we shouldn't get into you taking 1% here, a quarter percent here, 5% here. We're not going to get into that. That's going to be a whole different topic. But ultimately, why I personally risk only a quarter of 1%. So let's kind of break down some like backstory. Let's kind of draw the picture of first things first, most of us are trading with prop firms or are aspiring to trade with that prop firm. Now, keep in mind, most prop firms will allow you to risk 10%, anywhere between 10 and 8%, I'm pretty sure. So let's just use that 10% like we're trading with FTMO. And let's break down based off of every single risk, how many trades would you actually be able to lose until the account's blown? So starting at the top, and I'll kind of just have my annotation tool, perfect. Starting at the top, we have our 0.25. This is our quarter of 1%. If we have 10% total to risk, we'll just do that 10% divided by 0.25%. And that lets us know we would have about 40 trades. So why would you need 40 trades for a challenge? You don't necessarily need it, but what if you start off the challenge and you have a bad start, which is what we're going to be going over. What if you start off the challenge and just something happens to where your mental is messed up? This quarter percent can really save you. And once again, we'll get into the numbers. If we have 1%, it's going to give us about 10 trades that we can risk. If we're risking 2%, we're going to have about 5 trades. And if we're risking 5%, which I know there's very few people doing it, then have about 2 trades. So that's the first thing we wanted to break down is our risk. How many trades are we going to be able to take with that risk? Now, next, we're going to have 4 traders. Each of these traders will use a different risk. Now, they're going to have the same win rate, same percentage, whatever the case may be, and the same minimum R to R, which their R to R target will be a 1 to 10. And that's where they're taking their profits. So let's get into it. If we're having a good start, which everyone always talks about, good start, trader 1, or let's actually start from the bottom. Good start, trader 5% per trade. So for this good start, as you can see, they're going to start off with one loss. After that loss, they're going to have a win. So we can see trader 5, 1 loss, and he's down 5%. So he has one more trade that he can place. And since he got that 1 win right after, that was a 1 to 10, he made 50%, which means he's now positive 45% on his account, which is amazing, right? Can't complain. And the good start isn't even where we would choose not to trade. Because good starts, we can kind of see overall, based off the numbers, good start, we might want to not trade 0.25, but let's get into it. So we have 45%, we're up, sheesh, amazing. Now trader 3 takes a couple more trades, but we could see he passes his account in that 1 trade as well. 1 loss, he's down 2%. 1 win, he's now up 20%, but 18 because he was down that 2%, and he's done with the challenge as well. We did play out some more numbers just so we could see, but ultimately, same thing. 5%, 2%. If we have a good start and we hit that bare minimum 1 to 10, we could pass our trade, our challenge in maybe 1, 2 trades. But now as trader 2 comes along at 1% risk, we take that 1 trade and we lose minus 1%. Our next trade, we win. We're up 10%. That equals out to 9%. Then let's say we lose our next 2 trades. So from 9%, we're down at 7%. And after these 2 trades, let's say we have that 1 win. That 1 win will give us 10%, that 1 to 10. If we add that 10 to the 7, we're up 17%. And we passed our challenge in about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades. Passed our challenge in 5 trades, which amazing, perfect. And last but not least, the 0.25%, we are down 0.25%. Then we hit that 1 to 10. So we're up 2.25%. Get a loss, and then we get another win. At this win, we're at that 4.25%. Let's say we get another win after that, we're up 6.75%. So we haven't passed our challenge, but we're feeling pretty good after our first week, right? Let's say this was your first week, you took 5 trades your first week, feeling pretty good. Obviously, it would have been amazing to pass the challenge like all of these other ones, but 0.25% ensures that you're protecting your capital more than anything. And we'll kind of get into that right now. So let's say you have a bad start, but with that bad start, you have a quick comeback. So we'll start back from the bottom, our 5%. We have a bad start, so we're going to start off with a couple losses. We have 1, 2 losses, and we're done. 5%, 2 losses, you're done. You're knocked out of the challenge. Next, our 2%. We're going with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 losses before we get our first win for this bad start. For our bad start, once again, 5 losses before we get that first win. So we have 1 loss, 2 loss, 3 loss, 4 loss, 5 losses, and we're done. We're no longer a part of the challenge. So we could see, based off of having a bad start with a possible quick comeback, trader 3 and trader 4 are off the table, which is why I don't risk 2%, which is why I don't risk 5%. Because we're bound to have a bad start. We're bound to have a little rough patch. It happens for everyone. It's a part of trading. So if we understand that, and we could come in and look at the numbers and see, okay, if I did have that bad patch, I'm blowing my account, negative. It's not going to work out. So let's check out the top 2 traders. Now, trader 2 has 1 loss, 2 loss, 3 loss, 4 loss, 5 losses, down 5%. 5%. Now, let's say that their next trade wins, hits that 1 to 10, gives them 10%. So they're up 5% profit at the end of their week. How are they feeling at the end of the week? Feeling pretty good, right? Can't complain in profits. So yeah, literally pretty good. Now, on the other side of things, our 0.25, our trader number 1, 5 losses, and he's down, or he or she is down 1.25%. 1 win after those 5 losses, and he's now up 1.25%. So definitely nothing crazy, but they're in profits, right? Now, all you need is $1 profits for a free retrial. So let's say from this 1.25, all you technically have to risk is 1.24%. Keep that 0.01% inside the account just to get that free retrial in case the trading market, the conditions aren't ideal, because the conditions won't always be ideal for you to trade. Just keep that in mind. So that's that. We could see, based off of the bad start and a quick comeback, it's looking like trader number 1 is kind of has the ball, because they passed their challenge for the good start, and we're still at a good point. Trader 2 and trader 3 are now done. The reason why is because with the bad start, we couldn't even stay in the game. The goal is to stay in the game. You can't score if you're not in the game. So as of right now, the only 2 in the game are trader 1 and trader 2. So as we get into a bad start plus a broken psychology, which is why I personally risk 0.25%, is because psychology is so big. So now let's understand this. Trader 1 has 5 trades, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he decides to call it a week. At the end of that first week, he's down 1.25%. How does he feel? Maybe a little down because he's lost 5 trades, but the pressure isn't there. 1.25% is nothing. He can make that up in one trade, you know. He can make that up, yeah, literally in half a trade, realistically. So half a trade to make this up, you're not worried. Now, getting into trader number 2, we're not even going to talk about 3 and 4 because they're already out of the table. Just trader number 2 now, we see he's lost his first 5 trades. This is his first challenge, first week. End of the week, he's down 5%. What is that going to do to your psychology? Keep in mind, we have 4 weeks to pass a challenge. So from those 4 weeks, after your first week, you're down half of your challenge. I don't know about you guys. I'm going to be a little bit discouraged. I'm sure almost anybody would, to be honest, being down 5% after their first week. So now here's the thing. Is your broken psychology, or is your psychology going to negatively affect you? So meaning once you're at this 5%, a lot of people, a lot of times, and I even get into this cycle myself, to where when we see the negative, instead of focusing on what we can do to get away from the negative, we actually more so focus on the negative, which actually brings more negativity to us. We pay more attention to the losses instead of paying attention to the winning trade. So with that being said, when we have something like this and it really messes up our psychology, typically we could see a downhill spiral from here. Obviously not 100% of the time, but I could say, off of like my opinion, maybe 60-70% of the time, if you're down more than half of what you're supposed to risk, your psychology most likely won't be too well. And if your psychology's not too well, then we know psychology is most of trading. So this is the reason why I personally risk 0.25%. The reason why is because if I have a bad start and my psychology sucks, I'm still in the game. If I have a bad start, if everything goes wrong, I'm still in the game to live to trade another day. Now, if I have a bad start and a quick comeback, I'm in profits. Perfect. I'm in profits. I can get my free retrial. If I have my good start, then perfect. I had a great first week. Keep in mind, we have 4 weeks. So at this rate, the second week, I'll be passing my challenge, risking 0.25%. Now, that's simply why I personally do it. Keep in mind, I would recommend for you to kind of like do your due diligence, well, sheesh, do your research and kind of figure out what works for you. Because I personally know traders who risk 0.25%. I know traders who risk 2%. I personally don't know any traders who currently risk 5%. Any traders that are like worth mentioning. But yeah, so 5% is definitely off the table. 2% is just depending on how much you trade. If you trade 1 to 2 times, 3 times a month, then 2% might be it for you. 2% really might be it for you, especially if you're looking to trade less than 5 trades a month. Me personally, I'm looking to take anywhere from 1 to 5 trades a week. So let's just say 5 trades a week times 4, that's about 20 trades. So I need at least 20 trades to risk, which is why that 0.25% works out so perfectly for me. I really hope this was able to provide some value for you guys. If you guys do have any questions, feel free to drop it in the comments, reach out in the Discord. And yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. I'll talk to you guys soon.